I'm going to talk about the mechanics of using this sighting technique when using a pencil. We're going to find a base unit of measure that we can use to compare and measure the other objects in our still life. And this works by placing the base of the pencil or the point, whatever works for you, at the top edge of this edge of a box, or the whatever unit of measure you're looking for. But a straight edge on a box works quite well. And then place your thumb to mark the bottom position of that box. Now this only works if your elbow is locked in space, and if your elbow is not locked, what happens is the pencil can look farther away if the elbow, or if you're leaning far forward, or conversely, the pencil can actually look much larger. So keeping the elbow locked will actually make this length consistent when moving it around across the objects. Try this experiment. Measure your object, lean forward, with your arm, and see how far away that looks. And then, this only works too if you're keeping one eye closed. And then bring that pencil closer to your eye by bending your elbow and bringing the pencil closer to your eye, and see how much larger it gets. So you can see why this only really works to create a consistent unit of measure when the elbow is locked in one position. And now notice that if I've got a consistent unit of measure, when I take that measurement, that length of that line, the corner of that box, moving it over here, this same measurement, it's about 1 1/8 units of measure. It's a little bit longer. Angling my thumb from changing the angle of the pencil in space, but keeping my elbow locked and keeping my thumb in that position, I can see that this is a little bit shorter than the unit of measure that I had. Coming over to this side of the object, I noticed that there's about 2.5 units of measure. And then this also helps to measure the width of the object. Like, I didn't measure the width of the ball here, but I did measure the width of this funnel, and it's about 2 1/3 units of measure. One of the things too about measuring the height as well as the width on a shape like this is that we can see that approximately the distance from one side to the other of the object. So we can measure from the center out to the edges. That helps us see when we're drawing something to make it round. So if I want to mark this width, I can try to find approximately the middle distance and mark across the center line, and that will allow me to see where the center of the object is and if it's actually round all the way around the object. Okay, I hope that helps everyone understand this technique.